See, I'm a proud Nigerian, obviously. Being a Nigerian is very exciting, except, of course, when you need to travel with a Nigerian passport. Then being a Nigerian is rather annoying and stressful. Blame it on some Nigerian prince on the internet who choose to be bold and smart in the wrong ways. And if you've ever been to Nigeria, especially Lagos, Nigeria, there's this entrepreneurial spirit that you feel right from the airport, even before you hit the streets. The feeling is indescribable. You need to be a Nigerian or visit Nigeria to experience this. This attribute isn't unique to Nigerians alone. Every city across the continent has what makes them unique. There's a saying that the ideal entrepreneur has the Nigerian hustle, the Ghanaian integrity, the smoothness of a Kenyan, the strength and vision of a Rwandan, and the vibe of a South African. You see, the narrative about Africa has been a land of untapped potential for way too long. We see headlines about accidental entrepreneurs forced by circumstances. But the truth is far more profound. There's a genetic blueprint of innovation embedded in Africa's past. Look at the transatlantic slave trades. Millions were stolen, yet they built new societies, adapted to harsh environments, and created thriving economies. This resilience and resourcefulness, these are the entrepreneurial spirits that Africans have. Fast forward to today. 70% of the population in sub-Saharan Africa are less than the age of 30. Africa boasts of the world's youngest population, brimming with ideas. Mobile money platform like M-Pesa in Kenya, founded by engineers who understood the need for financial inclusion and are revolutionizing economies with it. Alt School in Nigeria, founded with a mission to democratize access to quality education, to give Africans the skills they need to grow and build the careers they want. And on the food tech scene, we have Yebo Fresh from South Africa, who leverages technology to provide quality food to people on demand. You see, the rise of African innovation is undeniable, but a number of African startups and small businesses still fail. Why? Many may pin the blame on lack of funds, government policies, or lack of enabling environment for their innovation to thrive. In my research as the director of programs at Wunti Al Khair Foundation, a non-profit organization whose mission is to empower the underserved communities by reducing educational inequalities, provide affordable healthcare, and foster economic development. So while I was creating programs for small businesses in my community, in Bauchi, I believe this is the first time some of you are hearing this, northeastern Nigeria, I found out that while there are multiple reasons why small business fails, a significant reason is the broken state of entrepreneurship education in Nigeria and in Africa at large. Now more than ever, we have business schools in any major cities in Africa, and entrepreneurship is currently being taught across institutions and colleges across Africa. But the approach at which this is done is ineffective. Here's why. There's a one-size-fits-all approach that is used to teach entrepreneurship. No two humans are the same. No two businesses are the same. Why then do we teach a single business model and then we expect it to apply across boards? And secondly, there's a misalignment with the African context. We use the Silicon Valley model to teach entrepreneurs in Africa on how to build solutions for Africa. We are setting them up for failure. And there's a skill gap. Most of the professors and faculties that teach entrepreneurship, they've never run a business in their life. Well, can you give what you don't have? And we learn everything in these business schools, aside from the true knowledge, which is the knowledge of self, which is the self-awareness. A South African entrepreneur, the founder of Spinach King, says the first thing that you need to start a business, more than money, is your intellectual capital. And intellectual capital here is not just your knowledge of the industry, it's not just your knowledge of the customers you're trying to build for or the industry you're operating in, but your knowledge of self, your self-awareness. And as an entrepreneur, there's a term popularized by Joe Abraham, which is entrepreneurial DNA. And that entrepreneurial DNA suggests that every entrepreneur has inherent traits, tendencies, and characteristics that influences their inclination as entrepreneurs. It governs our behaviors as entrepreneurs. These traits are categorized into DNA types, each representing a distinct characteristics that govern our leadership style, our decision-making process, and often our business strategies. The idea is that just as the biological DNA defines an organism's characteristics, the entrepreneurial DNA defines the unique strength, challenges, and the natural inclination of an entrepreneur. Joe Abraham defines entrepreneurs into 4 different types, which is the builder. In Africa, an entrepreneur, which is the richest black man, Aliko Dangote, proudly in Nigeria, he exemplifies this attribute of a builder, building scalable businesses across multiple industries. And a builder measures success by infrastructure. They don't think in hundreds or thousands. They think at larger scale. And the limitation of a builder, they are overly rigid and they micromanage. They are so keen on their goals. So they use people. So this attribute exemplifies the characteristics of a builder DNA in an entrepreneur. So the second DNA type is the opportunist. The opportunist DNA, think of it like an entrepreneur that wants to get rich quick. They see business as a vehicle. They are currently in a Honda of opportunity. The moment a Maserati passes by, they jump on it. They dabble into a lot of things. And the limitation of an opportunist DNA is they don't have focus. And third, we have the specialist DNA. The specialist DNA are the experts of our world. They can be on a particular business undertaking from the beginning of their career till the end of it. They don't act like the opportunist DNA. And lastly, we have the innovators. The innovators are they don't pursue business at first. They are more of impact-driven, and then the business found them. So, explaining all of these DNA types, the builder, the opportunist, the specialist, and the innovator. First, making us understand that we need to be aware of our DNA as entrepreneurs. And as soon as we have that, it will be easy for us to choose the right team, build contemporary teams, choose the right partners. Because if you are aware of your DNA as an entrepreneur, you would be able to know who to work with. Entrepreneurship in Africa. We have several issues that ranges from complex regulations and border issues. And we have unicorns in Africa that have founded billion-dollar companies. And AfriDigest lists out about 7 unicorn companies. And 4 out of these companies is a Nigerian company. 1 is a Cameroonian, 1 is Ghanaian, and the last one is an Egyptian company. We have about 54 countries in Africa. And then these 7 unicorns are spread out across just 4 African countries: Nigeria, Cameroon, Ghana, and Egypt. How can we create other unicorns in other African countries? And the way we can do this is through a borderless Africa. An Africa where innovation knows no bounds. And when we talk about a borderless Africa, it's not just about the physical barriers. It has to do with the entrepreneurial mindset of the people. So, as I bring this talk to a close, imagine an African company building a startup for the African market, where the founder is a Rwandan, bringing to the table the strengths and visions that Rwandans are known for. The head of operations, the head of strategy and sales is a Nigerian. Nigerians can sell water to the sea. The head of finance is a Ghanaian. The integrity of a Ghanaian is unmatched. The head of operation is a Kenyan. Seamless operation is assured. And the HR personnel is a South African. Regardless of the business environment, the vibe is sure to be 100%. So these forces, this collaboration among African countries, we can build solutions for Africa that are uniquely African and universally impactful. Enough of the anti-African sentiments and Afrophobia. Let us celebrate and embrace ourselves as Africans. For this collaboration and this understanding our differences and coexisting together, it gives a seed of a new Africa where innovation knows no bounds. Thank you.